Hello and welcome, everyone, to the Better1 podcast, your source of better entertainment news. As always, I'm your host, Tyler Wells. The legend says that this man has an 80% satisfaction rating with the ladies. Josh Dawson.
He's not lying, ladies and gentlemen. What have you been up to this week?
Well, let me tell you, not much. Especially, when all you do is pretty much binge watch Netflix. I caught up on Maniac. It's got Jonah Hill, Emma Stone in it.
Sick.
He's a little bit crazy in there, but pretty much just waiting for Red Dead Redemption 2 to take over my life.
Yeah, I think that's what we've both been waiting on this week to get our posse together.
Okay, we the posse.
We the posse. And then
looking
so, we're going to ride them western streets and play poker and all the other Rockstar mini games that they include in there.
Little shootouts maybe.
Yeah. Shoot the bottle.
They have a little carnival game. I want a carnival game to be in it now.
Yeah, that'd be kind of funny. Myself, I've been kind of getting into the holiday spirit of Halloweeny, spooky season.
Halloweenies.
So I went and watched Terrifier, which, yes, if you see the intro image on Netflix, you are going to probably shit your pants. It's about Art the Clown on Halloween night, and if I was to do which murderous clown is better, I would probably say Art the Clown at this point, because Pennywise ain't got shit on him. But it's a good watch. I mean, I love horror movies, and it's even got some of that, indie horror movie cheesiness to it, but it still makes for a good movie.
As if Halloween wasn't scary enough.
Yeah. Well, and not to mention, I've been, looking out in the dark at night, being like, is it Art the Clown? Is he there?
I feel like that's always the good look of any horror film you watch.
If you're still, looking over your shoulder after,
you're
2 days after.
I know this isn't real, but I'm going to check anyway.
Just in case. Other than that, in the last month, I binge-watched Peaky Blinders by order of the Peaky fucking Blinders, which, I love that series. It's pretty cool because I wanted to see when the next season was coming up because, that binge, Jones came on because I'm like, what do I do now? What do I watch?
And you go straight through it and you're like, oh no, what do I do next?
Right. So, I guess they're going to have up until season 7, so 3 more seasons, which is cool. But, it's pretty cool because Tom Hardy makes an appearance in the last season, too.
With that Tom Hardy.
Which, me and Tyler both had the consensus that these critics were really kind of off on their
we put off seeing Venom because we read that it had really, really bad critic reviews.
And I think at first it was 24, 23%. And then,
I think it was roughly around, I think it was about 25 to 30%.
As of today, Sunday, the October 21st, is at 30%, but the audience score is 88%. I mean, I always wanted a cooler Venom after we got that Topher Grace, terrible and Tobey Maguire kind of spin on it. I just was kind of turned off by them ever doing Venom ever again.
I mean, I think what people forget for the Venom movie is that it's not actually tied into the universe. Because Sony, when they bought the rights to it, because when they made superhero movies, it was pretty much anyone who would buy them could produce them. So when they bought that, they can make any spin-off in any way. That's why he lives in San Diego, and that's why Spider-Man's not in it.
That's true.
So it could be however it wants, and I mean, it sets it up for plenty of other things, especially a Carnage movie, which they also have the rights to.
Right. So, and I can see that. I mean, and if you go to Universal on the updated Spider-Man ride, Carnage is on there, not Venom. So you could see.
You used to say it can't tie in later. I mean, there's no rules in that it has to follow the exact backstory of it. I think in the news, I mean, everyone's heard of it. We have to talk about it. It's that Pete Davidson and Ariana Grande split.
Yeah,
she took the pig.
Not little bacon grease.
It's done. She took the pig.
I mean, we all kind of figured that it was gonna go south before it even started, really. But I mean,
no, Hollywood romance doesn't last.
Yeah, exactly. And it was not even 3 weeks they met each other and they were engaged. So I'm kind of
it's always it's sad when Pete Davidson's on SNL making jokes about if we break up, there's going to be a song about me. I'm going to be working at Kmart. And I'm going to hear that song playing.
Right, and what's funny is that story broke after our first episode. So we're like, no,
but we're kind of yes.
Yeah. At the same time, we're like, yes, we knew it wouldn't last, so we had to include it this week, of course. But who cares? I mean, in my opinion, because there's always let's say Nick Carter and Paris Hilton, we all knew that wasn't going to last. Or Nick Lachey and Jessica Simpson, and everybody's like, I have faith in them. And it just pop stars, and especially pop stars and comedians don't
Love is
mix.
dead, y'all.
Yeah.
Love is dead.
It don't exist, y'all.
But anyway, we have some crazier stuff going on. So I'm browsing YouTube, as always, a little bored in the meantime. Stumbled upon the story. It's David Schwimmer, which played Ross from Friends. He's going to appear on Will and Grace, the reboot that they have coming out, which I'm sure everyone watches all the time.
Yeah.
But I look at it, and then I see that he makes so much in syndication from Friends. He makes $20 million every single year just from Friends. And wait, guess what? All of them make $20 million a year from Friends.
That's insane. I mean, if that's the case, if they're making $20 million off of that show, imagine how much the cast of Seinfeld's making, though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because and Friends, I think, is only on like Netflix and maybe Hulu, so it's not like it's on a bunch of streaming sites.
It's really
either.
just on cable. I mean, you can imagine that you see Friends like all the time on cable if you have it.
Oh yeah, and it's like shoved down your throat, and it's like randomly like at 2:00 on a Tuesday and you're on TBS and you're like, okay, well I guess I'm watching Friends.
Would be this way.
Yeah. The thing that I kind of picked up on this week that I thought was hilarious, according to TMZ, DJ Khaled and Floyd Mayweather are caught up in a scandal because they promoted this cryptocurrency, where they both like held up this like debit card, like you can be a part of our crypto gang, yeah. Or but in reality, DJ Khaled was going DJ Khaled like 100 times, and they're like, we need to cut.
I want to know who was the first person to tell Floyd, like, yo Floyd, we got some shit for you. It's kind of wild. Like, you heard about money? How about money that ain't real?
Yeah, it's fake. But it's used to, traffic drugs and weapons, but it's the way of the future, man.
That would be something I'm into.
But my thing is like, did somebody like have to? How did Floyd get involved in this? Because he can't read.
He can't read.
He can't read.
He can't read.
So did somebody read him the contract? And he's like,
I want to know how a man goes from barely being able to finish a Dr. Seuss book to understanding the intricacies of cryptocurrency.
Yeah. One fish.
So
blue fish.
What's this one? What's this word say? Oh yeah, fish.
Yeah, okay. This ain't shit. Give me something else.
Man,
fucking Mayweather.
I'll take him in the ring anytime.
So, I guess the big thing this week too was we had 2 visitors to the White House of celebrity status.
Sure, everyone's heard about who came to the White House. So the first person was Kid Rock. So Kid Rock got invited because they were basically talking about like music and how it can be like refunded to artists instead of it gets on streaming sites and stuff like that, and basically giving them more rights to it. And if the White House wasn't already too white, they had to invite someone else.
I'm just sitting there like he's probably sitting there at the podium going bow bow dang dang, and then the whole crowd just gets lit over it.
So they're like, who can we invite to this party to change up the ratio? So they got Kanye West to come on in, and everyone knows Kanye West has been going through it.
Like hardcore, like mania, like to a definition. If you were to look up in the DSM right now, he would be like a picture of his face would be right there next to manic depressive.
I'm sure he's got many styles of straitjackets in his house.
But did you tell the people, Tyler, what he proposed to the president of Uganda this week?
So, I mean, if you didn't think he was crazy with all the stuff that he's trying to tell, to Trump to basically fix America, the man got to meet with the Ugandan president, and he wants to open Jurassic Park.
Well, and I'm like sitting there going, did he never see the movies? All 6 of them where the dinosaurs get loose and eat and ravage the land? Because Africa needs more damage and desperation going on.
You know how Kendrick got involved with the Black Panther soundtrack, and he was pretty much in charge of that? I wonder if that's going to be playing in the whole Jurassic Park.
Yeah, that's all you're going to hear. I've heard this song when we walked in. King's dead. Well, miss me with that bullshit. I don't know. I feel for Kanye, but when he does stupid shit like that, it's kind of like we get it. You're just like reaching because you're a celebrity.
For some reason, I always picture him in like a fortress of solitude. Like, Kim, I'm busy. And then he's sitting there and he's trying to come up with things that are just so outlandish that he wants to do to fix the world. He's like, man, Africa kind of broke. So, like, what if we get like a park of dinosaurs and shit?
But then there's no follow through. Like, he doesn't think of where he's going to get the dinosaurs, where he's going to get the researchers. Like, it just kind of stops right there.
He's like, here are the pieces. Y'all put it together. Let's make this shit happen.
Yeezy by Adidas.
And buy my shoes.
Speaking of Adidas, an article that we both found pretty interesting and funny this week is that, which I didn't know, but apparently the Waterboy is 20 years old as of this year, which
98,
which we both feel pretty old now. But to celebrate that, Adidas is releasing a 20th anniversary Waterboy Bobby Boucher jersey, the Mud Dogs jersey.
Authentic. It looks authentic.
The kicker, though, is that it's $120.
The kicker. There's my bitch.
Yeah. I'm the water boy, dude.
He's spitting a cooler.
Coach, he's spitting a cooler. But, I mean, we all love the movie. We all love Adam Sandler. Like, we wish Adam Sandler would go back to those days, but I don't think I would be that much of a clout chaser to where
I don't know what kind of hype beast is like, I gotta have it.
Yeah, $120. I'm in it. And it's probably the same person that's right now buying a pair of Yeezys from the website. And it's like, people also may like, and then they have that in the corner. And
I've been up 48 hours waiting for these to go on sale.
Yeah, well, oh shit, I could get a Bobby Boucher jersey? Sick! Awesome! So, with the Drake and Pusha T vibe that's been going through the news since like June, we finally got some clarity from Pusha and Drake this week.
Yeah, basically on the Joe Budden podcast, it revealed that Pusha T wasn't the one who leaked all of it. He just, he basically made the diss track about it. But it was Drake's producer, 40, who actually ended up telling Pusha T about it.
And I went on the other end of the spectrum and listened to Drake, who actually got interviewed by LeBron James, and then another guy that on this new show that they both have on HBO. And more or less, Drake's side of the story is that he got pulled out. Him and 40 got pulled out to Wyoming when Yeezy was doing his newest album. I can't even remember the name of it. It was that much garbage. With the incentive that they were going to just go over music and he was going to give him tracks and stuff. And says that E40 said something's weird when he got there a day before Drake, and Drake was like, no, we'll go for it. And he walked out of there with Lift Yourself for Scorpion, which he felt was an accomplishment, and he actually sat on
sitting there thinking he's gonna have a nice little collab, got a beat, oh cool, I'm gonna start writing my song. Yeah.
But he actually sat with Pusha and he got played the beat for Infrared, I think is which track it was, and come to find out that would all come to bite him in the ass because that was a diss track towards him later.
Then he sent a picture to Pusha T as well of his son. Basically, we just had this moment. We trust each other, and here's a picture of my son. These are the problems that are going on with the mother and stuff like that.
And that was basically ammo for his arsenal.
Yeah, his own diss track.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting because everybody has their take on this, and personally, I think it's just Pusha trying to sell albums, and Kanye, again, with his eccentric mind, was like, you know what we could do? We could take down the God.
I am the Senate.
Yeah. Do it. Do it, Pusha. It's Daytona. It sucks. Do it. So, either way, I think that's what happened. And Drake's, in the interview, which was actually kind of funny, he couldn't not talk with his hands. I feel like a SNL skit should be made from it.
If you want to imagine DJ Khaled moving like that, that's pretty much how Drake moves too.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen it, go watch it because it's basically Drake's side of the story, and you kind of get it. Of course, Drake's cool about it. He just feels betrayed overall, which is kind of funny because he's got that Degrassi I don't want no beef, y'all.
Yeah. I think it's strange in the setting that it is because it's on HBO, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's set up it's this casual interview, but it looks like they're in LeBron James' closet,
right?
And LeBron's just hanging out in his closet, and he's like, yeah, I guess we could do an interview or something.
Yeah, and what's funny, too, at one point is, I was watching it, and, LeBron, picks up a wine glass, and I had to pause it, and I'm like, is LeBron drinking wine? Like, but then again, if you're making like billions of dollars a year, I guess you can drink whatever you
it's less frowned upon to be day drinking.
Yeah, well, that's true. But I was just expecting them like be pinky out, like, yes, fancy, yes,
I score the basket, I get the wine.
Yeah, I went to California for y'all. I can do whatever the hell I want. I feel like if we were to like put like this beef like on a top 5 list, this would probably not even be on it because it's not even worth like putting energy into. Because I said from the beginning, it was all to sell records, but everybody else was like, dude, Pusha bodied him.
I mean, to me, of like any diss track, that's kind of what it ends up being. It's like, yeah, you think we're mad at each other, but we're not.
Yeah, it's like, we're cool.
Yeah, we're cool.
We're cool. It's like you can't have beef if one person's like, nah, we're good.
It's not like them old days.
Yeah, where it's like people are throwing shots at each other and like literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
So when we also kind of were looking at like all the stars we've lost in 2018.
Like I said, I get on YouTube a lot.
So
I don't know where I get these suggestions but it's most recent from Looper, and it's all the celebrities that we've lost in 2018. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go look back at that, and then it kind of made me think like, who is the celebrity that you'd be absolutely gutted to lose before the end of the year?
And my pick was Sam Elliott. Like first, I wouldn't say like I have more that I'll elaborate on, but Sam Elliott would probably be my top one.
Mine's definitely got to be Harrison Ford, but at least they wouldn't be able to milk him for movies anymore.
That's, yeah.
You're free, Indy.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is like, I think they're still filming the newest Indiana Jones movie.
Just waiting for them to stuff them and put them on like strings and be like...
Yeah, well... here comes the big rock. It's rolling towards
Dr. Jones, look out! And then they just, he humbles over. And
I mean, I don't know. I'd say Sam Elliott for me, because of all the, westerns he's been in, and like all the serious roles. Roadhouse. But other than that, it would be kind of devastating to lose like Ozzy Osbourne or I'm trying to think of another musician that I would be kind of. I mean, Juicy J, obviously, would be a big loss too.
Juicy J in his mid-30s.
No, he acts like he's in his mid-30s, but he's in his 40s. But the way he's like, well, I need to slow down on them Xans, R.I.P. Little Peep, and it's like, you should have done that many years ago, Jay. So yeah, but who else would you? Besides Harrison Ford, who would you kind of...
I feel like everyone's waiting for it, and it's got to be Betty White.
Yeah.
For sure. It's just like... Because I think people are to that point where it's like, is she invincible?
Well, she's like Hollywood's darling, like one of the very last of the Mohicans and old starlets,
I remember the first Oscars.
Yeah.
When it was actually made of gold.
Yeah. I mean, or like a sudden young artist passing away too would be like Lady Gaga or Gaga or somebody like that.
Even though she's kind of getting more popular. Like she's doing more projects and stuff. I mean, didn't she just release a documentary on Netflix?
Yeah, and then not to mention like I feel like A Star Is Born is getting a lot of like critical acclaim, even though it's like the fourth frickin' conglomerate of that script. I don't know
how much fuel you have in your backstory to make stuff like that.
The thing that killed me is we didn't see until the trailer that Dave Chappelle was in, and I'm like, Dave Chappelle's in that movie? Where?
As long as he's getting the paycheck, man, I'm okay with it.
Hell, he got millions to do 3 special. I think it was 10 million to do 3 specials on Netflix or something like that.
Because we watch all those together, so
yeah, that's true. So, one story that I had to touch on because
gotta bring it down a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little depressing, folks. But I had, as I drink a brew from Cigar City Brewing. Actually, I apologize. It's $3 Brewing.
You fool!
Beach Blonde Ale sponsor us. We have just starving children.
They're dying. I'm not kidding.
They're in a room, emaciated.
It's only kids' cuisines.
They're dying. From one of our local news station, WFTV, Channel 9, Eyewitness News, the new article that's going around the press is climate change could cause beer shortage. Scientists warn. And at first I'm like,
bad, but the scientists won't.
And I'm like, okay, well, that's not too bad. But then you dive a little bit deeper, and basically they're saying if they don't act on climate change, whether you believe it or not, within 12 years, they're saying that most of the barley and hops used for beer will be basically like either a smaller supply.
Eradicated.
Yeah, eradicated. There'll be that's like in big letters. That's what they should have. Either they'll be like a
wake up
supply.
Sheeple.
Yeah, or that the prices of beer are going to like just inflate like you wouldn't believe.
What do you think Natty Light will go to?
Yeah, like Natty Light's just using like random like plants to make their
50 cents.
Yeah. So I mean and what's funny is like they contradict themselves at least 2 times in this article, but it says only 17% of the world's barley is used for beer. But they also say that in the U.S., Brazil, and China, at least 2/3 of the barley goes into 6-packs, drafts, kegs, cans, and bottles. And I'm like, well, that's great.
I think like any American would be like, what else do they use barley for?
Right, but my biggest fear out of this whole article is when they're saying that it could double for prices on beer. I'm like, well, I mean, I wouldn't want that because a good 12-pack of a I guess IPA even is like $15, so it's like, why the hell would I want to pay double that for that?
You really just see the American beer getting stronger.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, who knows what they'll probably like outsource. Like we
start cracking the cans, you hear the eagle screech.
So, but I mean, it'd be funny to see if like more like independent growers are growing barley and hops because I don't think that's illegal.
I'm not sure.
If you're a farmer, I mean, I'm sure you can't not do that. So,
like I said, I'm not a farmer. I'll get up every morning, sow the field.
Yeah.
I don't really know how that works.
Whatever they do,
how you flop,
But
is it that important to switch to it, or can we just pay a little bit more for beer?
That's true. I mean, I don't know. I'm as you know, I'm a very big beer connoisseur. So without it in my life,
they call that an alcoholic.
Yeah, borderline. I mean, it's tattooed on my wrist. But if I
borderline.
But with that, I don't know. I mean, if you ever watch like how a beer saved the world and stuff like that, you'd be kind of like
borderline.
Okay, all right, fine. With that being said, we have our Pick 6 coming next week.
So basically, we figured out that it's more visual than anything, and I think reviewing it in a podcast format isn't as strong as it could be. So the next week, it's going to be in a video format on our YouTube channel.
Right. So at least you guys can actually see our reactions live and see, the can, and we're not having to like plug in pictures of it. So at least it's a little more.
Like I said, if you're listening to the podcast, you're not seeing a picture of it.
Right. So, and we also, we have our system, but if anybody has suggestions on beers that we haven't tried, we'll take it. Sponsor us, but we'll take it.
They're starving.
And donate beers. If you want to donate beers, well, hit us up.
Yeah,
so.
P.O. Box, they're starving.
In Altamont.com.
Come stalk me like Kendall Jenner.
Yeah.
We have a nice pool.
And a jacuzzi tub.
It's BYOB, and you can stare at me as long as you want.
Or BYOS, bring your own stalker.
I'm fresh out.
So, before I go, to kind of slowly get us into the spoopy season that we're in, I am going to Halloween Horror Nights next week.
So there'll be a little review about that for anyone that is
interested.
Concerned about that.
Yeah, I mean, me and Tyler went last year. It was fun. I mean,
it's all right.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone a bunch of times, so Tyler's
it's all right. First time, it's all right.
We definitely don't get the stupid drinks, the novelty drinks that they have with the light up cups.
You say that, but we drank so many of those.
We drank so many of those, but it was expensive. And
it's not worth it for a light up cup.
No, yeah. And then we're like, how do we carry this cup the rest of the night? And not to mention you have to finish it before you go in the damn haunted house, which I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Because it's like, why can't I drink when I get the shit scared out of me?
like I said, and unless your timing's off, then you have plenty of time to sip it as the person in front of you is getting scared, but you're not.
Yeah, well, and not to mention, like, it was like they have a divider in between the middle of the cup, so it was like 2 drinks, essentially, with a twisty straw, so you'd notice, like, as you drank, like, one side was depleting faster than the other.
Yeah, when you're supposed to get the mix.
So you're like, okay, well, I guess I'm just going to take the straw and drink the other side now.
Yeah, when we found out, too, like, the purple side's better.
Yeah, that's very true, even though it was mostly, like, food coloring in anything. Because this year they have...
It's because it's, what is it, rum and... One's rum, one's vodka.
Yeah, something like that. So you get that, like...
It's all slushy mix anyway.
Yeah, that's all it is. This year I know they have Halloween, Stranger Things,
Poltergeist, right?
Poltergeist, I believe. So I'm not a big Stranger Things fan, but, you know, I'm interested to see how...
Watch out for the Demogorgon.
The Demogorgon. So I'm interested to see how that one goes. It'll be kind of cool. Halloween, obviously, with the movie being out, which I think me and Tyler are planning on going to see this week as well, so that we can give you a review on the next episode. But, you know, I hear good things about it so far. Not as bad as Venom.
Yeah, I mean, even though, I mean, Halloween is still also getting a little bit of backlash, because Jamie Lee Curtis doesn't support gun rights. How dare she? But she uses a gun in Halloween.
which makes no sense.
I'm sitting there like, what do you want her to do?
I think there was another actor, I can't remember, don't quote me on it, but I think it was either Brad Pitt or, like, Nicolas Cage said the same thing, like or...
What, is Nicolas Cage against stealing national treasures?
No. It was Liam Neeson. Okay. And I'm like, Liam Neeson uses a gun in, like, most of his movies. Like, imagine Taken without a weapon. Like, he's just holding, like, a little, like, plastic baseball bat, like, wiffle ball bat. Give me back my daughter.
Not sure why that would be his first weapon of choice.
I don't know. Well, if he can't use a gun,
a gun. Wiffle ball bat.
Yeah, I don't know.
Definite second.
Yeah.
Like, he's looking at it and he's shooting these people and he runs out of ammo and he's just like, I should have brought the wiffle ball bat.
Yeah. I could have murked their world. But before we go, I had to touch lightly on this because I used to be a ship shopper, and if you don't know what that means, it's where...
It means you're lazy.
Lazy and or bougie, however you want to put it. Lazy, in my case. You basically pay somebody to go shop for you. They deliver your groceries, which it's, you know, pretty cool. I mean, because you could just sit at home and wait on your groceries. So
I feel like I'd rather have a service called Shit, where it's like they wipe your ass for you.
I'm done, and then you just hit a button on the app.
I need you.
I need you now. So this week I decided to cancel my membership and go myself shopping. As I'm going through the aisles, I go through the cereal aisles.
It was terrible. They were mean to me.
Yeah, and then I'm like, why the hell did I cancel it? So we go to the cereal aisle, and I glance over, and I shit you not, there is pumpkin spice Cheerios. Why in the hell do we need pumpkin spice Cheerios?
It's so you can kill 2 birds in one stone, so you don't have to drink your pumpkin spice latte and your pumpkin spice Cheerios. You can just pour them together and
yeah, but I'm just thinking, like, what an all-white girl am I looking at? Because it's like, as soon as, like, it hits September, all the white girls in Ugg boots and sweaters, not really in Florida because it's not that hot yet.
Or it doesn't matter.
Or it's not that cold yet, I should say. But they're still, like, ready, they have a countdown, like, pumpkin spice lattes, yeah!
I feel like as soon as it goes under 75 degrees, the Uggs are like,
yeah, like they pull out this scarf that they bought like at Abercrombie and Fitch that they're gonna like use like
their pumpkin scent scarf.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, what's next? Like pumpkin, scent when you get a new car in the fall. Like, I mean, it's just
mobile pumpkin mobile.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just like pumpkin spice everything, pumpkin spice tacos, pumpkin spice pizza. Like it's
pumpkin spice embalming.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, Mom and
Grandma smells great.
Grandma smells really great. Like she's very festive. We wanted to do something great for her.
I hope Grandma dies in fall.
So, I don't know. Every day we just stray farther from God or Satan, whatever you believe in.
Oh, man. Maybe that's just the business idea. We can just make everything pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin spice Dasani.
Delicious.
Pumpkin spice Coke. Sponsor us.
Kind of Coke.
So,
How much you selling it for, boy?
How much you selling that for? So, end of my rant, but, stay tuned because we'll have more for you next week.
As always, I want to remind you guys to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's also going to be a link in the description to our SoundCloud. We post shows every single Monday. If you like what you hear, please spread the word. It helps us out a ton. We want to remind you not to only have a good one, but to also have a better one.
Sell that bartender, make that motherfucker